everybody, it's me, Ken Knapsack. I'm already sharing the screen, and we're off and running here on another episode of The Blathering, episode 104, 103. Someone tell me what it is. I don't even know anymore. I don't know. Hey, everybody. I'm happy to be back in the driver's seat tonight. I don't know how long this episode's going to be tonight. I say that sometimes. I don't know. It might only be here 90 minutes. I literally got hit with work. About a half hour ago. Got a half hour ago. I mean, this is work too. But this is fun work. If you're listening in the audio version, I'm pointing aggressively at the camera. This is fun work. But I got some work for the fine folks at the Y-Files, where I do some writing for them now. And I got hit with something with the deadline. You know, I didn't explain my life to you. I didn't explain nothing to you all there. I was looking here today. We're going to start off soon here with an episode with the three things, but this is something else of mine. I just want to do a recommendation. I am sharing on my screen now the latest video from the Cynical Historian, Cypher over there. If you're an old school fan of Pawn Stars, remember Pawn Stars based out of Vegas? And every once in a while they'd have a local Las Vegas historian come in. Kind of like a wide brim, old style hat, suspenders. Maybe looks a little like George R. R. Martin. That guy, his son goes by the name Cypher on YouTube and has this channel, The Cynical Historian. I highly recommend it. He's got a great 40-minute little mini doc, little thing about Ronald Reagan, and it's fascinating because it paints a true picture of him, which is not the picture your parents probably want painted, but it also gets into some of the things that he did and some of the strict gun laws in California, or him, some of the stricter things in the 80s, of course, post his assassination attempt, are from him in terms of gun laws, but also some of the other things. I just want to highlight that. I want to highlight other content out in the world that I watched. Yeah, I used the C word. I don't care. Oasis is back, so we're going to use a lot more C words these days. Content's one of them. Check out Cynical Historian, and we'll go from there. All right, we'll come back here. Addie says I've been watching Pawn Stars all weekend. What's that historian's name? It's like Mark something or other. He was great. But his son is this YouTube channel, the Cynical Historian. He is a trained and educated historian. He has this great channel. So check it out. So if you want to know how horrible Reagan was, this video has it. But if you also want an honest appraisal of some of the things he did, it's there as well. My mom and dad wouldn't like it. They wouldn't like it. I was up visiting last week, my folks, and we don't get into arguments. We try to avoid those arguments. Time's short. Life's short. But things about, I get angry when they say, well, you hear, burger joints are paying people $20 an hour now. That's why your burger prices are higher. Nah, that's bullshit. That ain't the reason. And Kroger today, and the story is, as always, a little bit more complicated than just a headline would read, but I was reading about the Kroger thing. You got the Kroger-Albertson merger trying to be blocked. I think it should be blocked. But they incorrectly adjusted prices to their benefit based on, other stores and milk and eggs in particular considered essential. Things that are considered essential. This is in this Kroger, this lawsuit. Milk, eggs, sugar, I think something like maybe fruit, bananas or something like that, and iceberg lettuce. Iceberg lettuce. So if you like a more of a green mix, maybe a kale, a spinach-based, no, that's not essential. Iceberg lettuce essential. And I would agree with that as a wedge salad fan. Jared says that guy was the shit talking about the historian. Yeah. Scotty is here. I bet you cried when they made the announcement talking about Oasis. I didn't. I'll tell you why. Scotty. I didn't cry when they announced the big Oasis return because Oasis has never left for me. Oasis has never left. I don't think it's hard to find a week in my life going back to 1995 where at least one Oasis song hasn't been played by me. It's tremendously hard. Not even saying that for hyperbole's sake. There's probably is, a period of time, maybe a week here, 2 weeks there, sure. But that's how much I love that band. And what I think a lot of people are missing in my love of Oasis is it's not just about the music or the songs. It's about the attitude. Oasis are me when I'm a drink in. I will call you all the names in the books. I'm not comfortable saying some of the words they use, but yeah, I'm fucking going to start saying it soon here. So, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? We're going to get there. And Oasis is a part of my soul. Who they are, and even the imperfect parts. They're not perfect. Far from it. Far from it. That's the part of me that I love and I connect with it. That's not about the music. It is about just Oasis. And I think they're great, and I can't wait. So Scotty, I did not cry because I didn't need to cry. They've always been there. But I'm super excited. No matter the lineup, I know there's a lot of talk about other members of the band. You're not getting Bonehead out of bed for this. Bonehead's bank holiday. Not happening. Kixie, maybe. Tony McCarroll's not coming back, obviously. Alan White. I'd love to have Alan White back, but if Zach Starkey's there, so be it. Jem Archer, Andy Bell. I'd rather have Jem Archer and Andy Bell there than even Bonehead because, there you go. There you go. Vermont Mike, the V-Sign. But I having seen High Flying Birds live, it's a great band, and they did a lot of Oasis songs, and I was too busy screaming at the top of my lungs to know there. So that's there. We got some. Addie says this: grateful for this week's 20 Minutes of Coffee because I knew what my coworkers were talking about with Oasis this week. Brian Tiller says this. Brian Tiller's come in with a hot take. By the way, we're live on Facebook. We're live on Twitch as well. Say hello in chat if you're over there. Brian Tiller, he's a rock star. I get it. But he says iceberg lettuce is basically like drinking water. Get the hell out of here, Brian. Get the hell out of there. I sounded like I was from Belfast. One of my favorite things to do is to mix every accent I've ever heard from UK or that part of Europe and just put it out there as one accent. It's just the capital T, capital A, the accent. It's a journey. I take you on a journey around the world when I do accents. Scott says, oh, I'm still here. You're here. You're here. You're here. Oh, now he's here now. Be here now. Vermont Mike, look at this. It's the least nutrient-filled grain. I don't disagree with that. That's a fact. Vermont Mike's just stated a fact. Iceberg lettuce has the nutritional value of water. But for Brian Tiller to come in with this hot take that iceberg lettuce is basically drinking water. Come on, Brian. He says, I grew up on iceberg lettuce in Thousand Island. Yeah, you did. Call's coming in tonight. Jared's here, ready for a call. If you want to call, the links, you got to be a channel member or you got to be a Patreon supporter. There's this thing called Patreon still, if you want to head over there. You can just get the call link there. I think the right one's in. I also put in the Discord this week. I don't know what happened last week where the link was like to another show. I don't know. Maybe y'all called into any time and I didn't know. Vermont Mike does point out a truth about the Oasis thing. Don't count out Bonehead. Don't rule out Bonehead. He was the only other member featured on the tour trail. He was active when he was banned. Yeah, these are facts. I'd love to have Bonehead back. Just because now I look like Bonehead up top more than I did back then. So I just, does he want the hassle is the question. We are going to dive a little bit into the three things here. I promised a story here in the title. Not going to be too long on this. By the way, we're not drinking alcohol tonight. We're drinking some Swoon lemonade. Why? Because I can get it cheap at the grocery outlet bargain market. Oh, also want to highlight new merch. See the hat? This is a prototype. It's the letters actually fit a little bit more on the screen. New shop link. I had to move my Stream Elements shop. I had no choice. I suddenly went in to check my Stream Elements shop, which is different from my TeePublic shop. TeePublic, you actually almost lose money when you sell merch there. But Stream Elements, you don't. And then I went in there and they're like, oh, by the way, yeah, we don't do merch anymore. You're now a member of Fourth Wall. And there's some actually cool things, including I finally found a Team Zoc baseball cap. This is a flex fit. This is what I've been looking for a long time. And I finally have. I bought my own merch. Does that make me a shill for myself? Possibly. That's a good example. Scott Mills says, White or Starkey or get the fuck out. Yeah, I'm fine with that. That's a very Oasis answer, and I appreciate it. First thing I promised, Lost in Topgolf, stories from Topgolf. Last weekend, didn't do a show because I headed up on the train to my hometown. It's about a 4-hour journey by train. It's very relaxing. I wish I had more reasons to travel by train. by Amtrak. It's not. I've done it not cross country. I've done it back from Texas. That was 3 days. I don't necessarily know if I do again, but 4 hours up the coast. You get a business class seat. I saw dolphins. Not Miami Dolphins, not Tua and Tyreek. I saw 2 dolphins playing in the Pacific Ocean from the comfort of my train as I got some writing done as I went and visited my folks for a day. That was last week at this time. And then Mark Ellis drove up the coast, picked me up at my parents' house. Can Kenny come out and play? And we drove up to San Francisco, town, I got to say, I don't love. And we did a great show, though, at a venue I did love, the Lost Church of San Francisco. Nick Scarpino, me, Josh McCouga, Mark Ellis. Great little fun crowd there. Met some wonderful folks who listened to some of the silly things I do. And we had a great time. Great time up there. I did not, though. We left a day early. I don't want to come in here. And Jared comes in with this. This is the hottest take I've seen on the internet. Well, Fook trains. Yeah, okay. I like it. I like the Amtrak. It's not necessarily the most convenient thing. I wish we could work out the high-speed rail debacle that's been California's a blight on California for a while there. I wish we had trains as they have in Europe and the rest of the world, but we don't. We have Amtrak and bad tracks. But all right. Hey, hot takes are welcome around these parts. I don't want to bash San Francisco. Because if I went and stayed in downtown LA right now, if I got a hotel, if I just came to town and said, we have a venue we're performing comedy at, let's get a hotel nearby, and then we stayed in downtown LA, I might have a different view of LA as opposed to the truth of the entire area. LA's an absolute wonderful city to live in. The larger aspect, I'm in Burbank, which is technically its own city, of course, but just the whole Southern California area, I really, truly love this city. So I'm not here to slag on San Francisco, but I have been up there now 2019 and now here. Those are a lot of my recent visits. We left a day early. We looked around and said, yeah, it's probably not a good idea that we're around here. So it's, but the comedy club, it's a theater, the Lost Church, which is across from Cobb's, which is a comedy club in San Francisco, great area. So I can see the appeal. So that's why I'm not slagging on San Francisco. But the area we were in, I saw so many people smoking crack straight from the pipes that it was depressing. And we talked a little bit about 20 minutes of coffee the other day, but I'm just remixing for those that missed that. That set the tone and tenor. So we left. And Brian Tiller's asking, where was that pizza that was posted on Instagram from your San Francisco weekend? We were staying like 55th and Mission or 9th and Mission. There was Mission Street was nearby. It was around there. Square Boys Pizza or something like that. Square Plate Pizza. It's well known. Nick Scarpino recommended, and it was good. It was close to Detroit style pizza. So if Lauren Romo's out there or listening later, it was close to what we would call Detroit style pizza, but it was good. Big Lou's here, joined, Addie says, I've been to San Francisco years, but I really enjoy what I did. Yeah, again, I'm sure there's parts I enjoyed. Joined this live stream for the exact wrong moment. What about crack? Big Lou, everybody. Big Lou's here. People literally outside of our Airbnb and groups of like 6 just smoking crack out of what you would call crack pipes. It was desolate. It was tough. It was rough. So we left. We didn't stay. We left. We left a Harry Potter themed Airbnb. And when I say that, I mean almost every workable space was a Harry Potter Lego set, plushie, towel, glass, cup, art. It was, it was impressive. Not a Harry Potter fan, and that's outside of even JK's just idiocracy of the mind. But, I respect Harry Potter as a franchise and what it meant to a lot of people, but never got into it too much. Seen all the films. I haven't read the book. Seen all the films. But it was the space was overwhelming with Harry Potter, which I can respect. But we went down to San Jose. I'm not going to tell a boring story too long here. We spent time at Topgolf. I've been to 2 Topgolfs now, and both times are 2 of my favorite days ever. You don't even have to be a fan of golf. And I haven't played golf since 2012, except that changed yesterday. Went out to a driving range, and I'm going to be hitting the links soon. Got my clubs out. I'm back in, baby. I'm going to play some golf. I missed it. It was a lot of fun. But Topgolf, you don't have to be a golf fan. You just have to be a fan of drinking. It doesn't even have to be alcohol, but that helps. Finger foods, snack foods, and just laughing with your buddies. And it was an impromptu. Josh McCouga, who, if you all know Josh, send him a well wish. He, he's been very public with it, but he lost his brother, Ben. The great Ben McCouga passed away a couple weeks ago. Just a sweetheart of a human being. And we send this one out to Ben, but Josh was able to find the strength in his heart to come do some comedy with us. Had a great set. Then he had kind of mentioned as we'd picked him up, and Mark Ellis and I almost got shot and killed in the mountains. True story. We made a wrong turn on a private road looking for the house Josh lives in, and some guy followed us in a truck, blocked us in, and it got very tense, is all I'll say. It was a thing. You never would have known. You're just like, oh, Ken he never came back to the Blathering. It was that kind of tense. Anyways, on the way up to San Francisco, Josh just kind of says, yeah, there's a Topgolf in San Jose. And we went, oh, okay, that's cool. And then we woke up Saturday morning. We were like, should we just cut this trip in San Francisco short and go to Topgolf in San Jose? Yeah, we did. So we did. There for a few hours. Swung the ball pretty good. Swung swung the club pretty good. Not great. I can't outdrive Josh. I can't outdrive Mark Ellis and all of his training that he's had lately. Man's really obsessed with golf, almost a concerning level. But I had a lot of fun, and it inspired me to just head on out to golf. But the lesson here, this is why it's on my mind. It's so valuable. I'm a workaholic. On Sunday, because I ended up, Mark and I came back Saturday night. I was supposed to come back Sunday last week. So I had nothing scheduled. My schedule was clear Sunday. So I said, oh, screw it. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not even going to shoot an ASMR video. Not going to prepare stand-up. Nothing. Not going to do any of it. And I didn't know what to do with myself. Laserbolt says, Topgolf is just a driving range. Oh, no, sir. Oh, no. Oh, no. Topgolf is an amusement park with golf clubs. You pay for a bay, order your food. There's restaurant bars and everything, and you play games. There's scoring. There's these balls that track it. So you hit the ball, and it tracks everything: airspeed, hang time, distance, where it goes. You can watch it, and it becomes a game. So it becomes a fun competition, and that's part of the fun. That's part of what I enjoy about it. And what Kyle Harlow says, things got tense, but luckily the man in the truck was Jamo's fan. He was not. Oh, he wasn't a fan of us as humans. Seriously, Mark and I were almost shot. I know Kyle's joking. It was bad. It was bad. Don't turn down roads thinking you're going the right direction in the hills, is all I'll say. Now, Steve says this. He says, I'm convinced the mats are juiced at Topgolf to boost your ego. Don't ask to explain how. Always hit the ball better than anywhere. I don't disagree with that, Steve, because they also have something new that wasn't there in 2019 when I played at the one in Scottsdale, Arizona. They have the Sure Shot, just like a driver hybrid iron. It's called the Sure Shot, and they have two different lengths. Giggity. And, oh, man, Steve, I was hitting that ball well. Hit the ball bad, but hit the sure thing. I think it's not the sure. It's the sure thing. Patent pending. It's great. Is it better to be muted here or on YouTube? Scott, you be where you want to be. Go where you want to go. Laserbolt says, when I heard people take Topgolf, I assumed it was a TV show. That's not. They should make the Topgolf should be a TV show, but it's so fun. And that was the final lesson. As I ended up my thoughts on this, I don't know myself when I'm not working. I don't have an identity when I'm not working. So this past Sunday, when I was sitting home, it's hard to relax. Grace and I talk about this all the time. She finds it very hard to relax. I don't find it hard to relax. I just don't know who I am when I'm doing it. And I felt such like a waste of a human Sunday not working. And that's good. Work ethics are good. The drive to work is good. But Topgolf, sitting there 3 hours with some buddies, just laughing, swinging clubs, drinking. I drank something called a Blackberry Smash, which is now my golf nickname. It's like it was needed. It's especially needed for Josh and what he's going through. Especially needed for the crack in his heart right now. But for Mark and I, Mark enjoys his relaxation, he'll admit, but he's also a hardworking guy too. Road, Rotten Tomatoes, Comic-Con, Comedy Store. He's there for so many people. He needed it too, and I needed it too, to just put a little bit of my cares and concerns and financial worries and all those things we all have, to put those aside. It was so great to just sit there for 3 hours. It's not free, but to sit there for 3 hours and just play us a little game and laugh and have fun. So I want you all to do that there. We got a Facebook, like it. I don't know what that is. Okay, let's get that. We got ourselves a fun thing going on. Speaking of blocking, Romo's there. Romo missed, she was there. Were you there 20 minutes of coffee this week, Romo? I've close to having Detroit style pizza. I want to move on to a couple other things here before I take calls. I got Jared, the Thai pilot, ready. He's been waiting patiently. If you get a call, get in there. Get in there. Let's get in there. Let's get a question, get a thought. Dylan Barry asked this question here. What's better, Top Golf or mini golf? Let's say Booze is offered at both. This is a great question. Top Golf. Mini golf is fun. I do enjoy mini golf. It's been a few years. For mini golf. For me, I enjoy it, but the problem is mini golf is much like real golf. You're playing around other people. I don't enjoy the presence of other people when I'm trying to have fun. So I don't want to be hurried by someone behind me. I don't want to be held up by a group in front of me. So if you can get hit mini golf at 8 a.m. when they open or whatever, maybe that's good. But Top Golf, you rent a bay, you're not bothered. The only person talking to you is the waiter or your friends. So Top Golf wins on many levels. Plus the food's really good. And you're sitting there, you can eat a wing, grab a quesadilla slice, swing, hit. It's great. Love it. Roma says, no, I missed it. What happened? Well, I was in San Francisco, a bad part of town, and I had some Detroit-style adjacent pizza, Roma, and it was good. Laserbolt says Ken claims to be in Detroit-style pizza in San Francisco. No, but Laserbolt, it's branded as such. It's like they brought it to San Francisco. It just apparently, according to Mark Ellis, lacked the sauce that would make it Detroit-style pizza. So therefore, that's why I'm calling it just Detroit-style adjacent. So your nope is not wrong spiritually, but it was advertised as such. Like it's Detroit-style pizza-ish. Lauren Roma says we'll talk all night. Number two thing on my mind. Highway Johnnyman asks a fair question. Would Top Golf be even fun if you're bad at golf? Yeah. Oh yeah, no. You don't no. The guys next to me, I look over, they were horrible swings. Like painfully horrible swings. The ball was going 2 yards. Having a great time. I'm not perfect. I had a great time at the driving range yesterday. I actually had some good swings yesterday. I'm back, baby. We're doing 9 holes next week. But I'm not as good as Mark, and definitely not as good as Josh. Though I think Mark did win one round. It was competitive. But it's just fun. Yeah. Highway Johnny. Get to one. Addie says, I enjoy the presence of other people. I'm trying to have fun. I needed don't enjoy. Yeah. It's why I don't go. People are like, Ken, why don't you go to the movies more? I don't enjoy other people around me. Aaron's here. Say hello to Aaron, the writer. Tell me I should be writing. Nah, you know what? For the next hour, Aaron, you don't need to be writing. Number two thing on my mind. Went to my store, grocery outlet, Bargain Market. I'm trying to become a spokesman for them. I have a new comedy bit that I've done twice now. It did very well the first time. Killed in San Francisco with some new additions. Love it. Love the store. Went today. I'm trying to be healthier. I'm down a few pounds, being more active, eating less, all the good things. But I was at the store, and I'm like, we're not going to have treats. We're not going to have little treats at the house right now. Chips Ahoy with Reese's Pieces. I can't turn down Reese's Pieces. Oh, by the way, oh yeah, funny. Okay, Addie says this. Every time you say it, Ken, I hear the jingle in my head. I've never heard the jingle. But when I did the bit in San Francisco, everyone started like singing the jingle. It's like grocery market, bargain outlet, or something like that. I haven't heard. I have to seek it out. I have to seek it out. Catching up with Chad here. Oh, Jed Murrow's here. Everyone say hello to Jed Murrow. Last minute writing needs. Lauren says we have a Top Flight Golf in Michigan. Well, what's Top Flight Golf? That's not Top Golf. Is that like Top Golf adjacent? Anyways, Reese's Pieces. I'm telling you, I can't turn it down. And it's Reese's Pieces. No one say Reese's. That's not what it is. This isn't a GIF or GIF moment. This is that it's facts versus fiction. It's Reese's Pieces, and I bought the cookies. I'm trying to be so good. So I have to hit. I don't have time to work out tonight, but I've got to because I had 5 cookies right before the show. 5 cookies. I can't turn down Reese's Pieces. And I want to know what anyone else out there have that affliction. That's the number 2 thing on my mind. So while you're, see, Laserbolt's right there with me. Laserbolt in chat says Reese's Pieces, is my go-to movie snacks. Yeah. Reese's Pieces or Reese's chocolate in any form. Cup, bar, bite, coffee, cookie, dust, drug form, whatever. You got my attention. I do think I have to go to E.T., one of the greatest missed marketing opportunities for M&Ms. Though, I think M&Ms has done okay. I think people know what M&Ms are. But they bow out of the movie. Reese's Pieces comes in. E.T. eats the Reese's Pieces. I'm like 6 seeing this, and it's forever been ingrained in my soul. Just love it. I'll even take the variations on it. Kyle Harlow says, I'm powerless from chocolate and peanut butter and combined. Yeah, it's you're not wrong there. Aaron says, life's short, eat the cookies. That should be on a t-shirt. Life's short, eat the cookies. Again, I'm trying really hard. I felt really bad last week on some of my food choices prior to San Francisco. I didn't do that bad on the road. I did not do that bad on the road. Mark and I would stop at convenience stores, everything. I didn't have any chocolate. No taste treats. Nothing. I did have a whatchamacallit the other day because I did film a new video last minute. I want to put one up so you can check it out. Asking the important questions around here. Can 7-Eleven hydrate me? That is up now here on the YouTube channel. I did have a whatchamacallit in that, but that's okay. But I got to hit the treadmill tonight. New Rings of Power is out. I haven't watched it yet. Probably won't really watch it till Sunday, but maybe I give it a go. Number one thing on my mind that I want to get to calls. Jared's waiting patiently. I could see Jared. He's just been like this. Hands under his chin for an hour waiting for me to take his call. The final thing on my mind, I don't want to get too serious, but I'm going to get serious. It has been a journey over on Force Center the last 2 weeks because of the fate of the Acolyte show being not even revealed by Disney or Lucasfilm, but just kind of revealed by Deadline and the trades. The show was not renewed, not picked up. Whether or not there was things planned for season 2 or starting to be planned, various reports and rumors on that. But not unlike Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, other shows. Just simply, we're not moving forward with the second season. No official announcement, just not really doing it. Ahsoka seemed to have that fate, and then, okay, yeah, we're going to try to do a second season. I don't know if you'll see a second season of Ahsoka. I don't know. But Acolyte has ended. And this isn't a call for your opinions on it. This is a tale of Force Center covers it. That's what we do in Star Wars. It was going to get more attention. And we have blocked and banned a massive amount of people from our YouTube channel, which is good. That means you're reaching, the more people you have to deal with, the more. I got a humble amount of people watching right now. I'd love to have 3 times the amount. And then you're going to have more people who don't like you. But I just I've years of doing this now. I've got to just get this off my chest. Me doing a show like this where I'm asking, hey, what's your thoughts on Reese's Pieces? Do you like Topgolf? Laser Bolt, do you think that was Detroit pizza? That's a call and answer. This is what we do here on a live show. I take calls. Jared's going to be the first call in here. That's what we do. That's a different feeling. But the comment sections are private parties. We're inviting you to the party, but we don't have to allow you to stay if you not just violate any kind of official terms, but if we just don't like you. And the amount of people who have shown up into the Force Center comment section of the last couple of weeks and stuck their dick in the mashed potatoes, gotten banned, and then people are starting to come to our comment section to be like, oh, you're banning people. You're afraid of nuanced conversation. You're afraid of competing opinions. No, it's none of that. We just don't want you around. This is our party. This is a party for people who want to celebrate Star Wars. This is a party for people who are right now upset and sad that a show that meant a lot to them is gone, and they're disillusioned and they're upset, or they just want to celebrate it. We don't want your goddamn opinions about anything, Reese's Pieces, Star Wars, or otherwise. And if you show up in our public, it's just like when I worked at the malls. It's private property open to the public, which means we can kick you out of it. You used to love getting that discussion all the time. It's a municipal code here at LA, 41.24D, I think it was, if my memory serves. We as the owner of this property, and I was representing as an agent for the owner of the property. We open this private property to you, the public, but we can ask you to leave. We have a right to ask you to leave. That's YouTube comment sections for me. That's any kind of comment sections. If you're not keeping the vibe of the party going, and you're not on our side, not in terms of our opinions, but in the vibe, I don't want you here. And now there's this kind of thing popping up of people popping into our comment section almost as if you guys ban comments. Yeah. We don't ban the comments. We ban the people. And it's become increasingly frustrating, especially as Rings of Power hits. And now there's a campaign against Rings of Power. And there was a campaign against Acolyte. And there's a campaign against a lot of shows for a lot of reasons, by the way, not just socio-political issues, but just Tolkien lore heads have campaigns against Rings of Power. We're not required as a show to be here. The podcast existing is not an invitation to a conversation, especially if the way you talk about it. Now, we say this. You can go to some of the Force Center chats right now, and you'll see some folks. Hey, I didn't like the Acolyte, but hey, if people did, that's fine. I'm sad for them. Or, yeah, I have this opinion of that opinion, but hey, cheers to you. Those comments are up. It's it's objectively bad, people. There's no such thing in art as objectively bad. There isn't. There's just not. You will find someone who loves it. I'm not the only one that said that. But beyond that, it's just amazing in this time and tenor that we have. This is the number one thing I'm going to cut myself short because I could do an hour of just ranting, repeating the same anger over and over that's in my heart because I want to throttle people. We don't want your opinions, man. Just keep the vibe of the party going. And there's folks, by the way, there's folks that are convinced that Dave Filoni canceled The Acolyte and that he's only going to go forward with nostalgia-based, nostalgia porn, Star Wars stuff. That's bullshit. It's 100% bullshit. But there's people doing that just as much as there's people who are going at The Acolyte for other reasons. And it's not bad writing. It's never bad writing. It is bad watching. Is there not as good writing out there? Yes, we can talk about that. But we don't need to talk about it in the comment section. Especially when one of the members of the show has pretty much said this show meant so much to me, not just now, but for 40 years of a Star Wars fan, and I'm heartbroken that it's gone. And then you're in the comment section going, well, it was objectively bad. Get the fuck out of here, man. And to have so many people now, I got one clown making videos, posting them on Reddit, posting them on Facebook, trying to kick up drama between me and Harloff. Harloff and I were texting about it the other day, laughing at the guy. But it's just maddening that you are not entitled to a conversation with us. You're not. You get one, you earn one, and you keep it by that kind of merit. So keep all that in mind. Because tomorrow, tomorrow, Force Center goes live at 2 p.m. Pacific with a what the Acolyte meant to you. We're going to people from our Patreon page call in to share what it meant to them, because it meant a lot to a lot of people. So there you go. Big Lou says, I don't know, Pootie Tang was pretty bad. Yeah. The G.I. Joe movies, I didn't like them. But there's a way to go, and Big Lou is a celebratory person. But there's a way to discuss art that we've lost. That we lost. We're going to take some calls. Tully Quinn is here. Tully Quinn says, hey, I want to thank you for introducing me to Last Dinner Party. I gave them a shot, was blown away by them, and just might be in love with the lead singer. Abigail Morris. One of the best new lead singers to come along in years. Abigail is a just charisma on a billboard personified. She's amazing. The Last Dinner Party is amazing. Tully, I love that you love them. Okay. Let's get to some calls. Chris is here from Baraxium. Hey, Chris. I think we last hugged in Chicago in 2019. Maybe Anaheim. Maybe London. But I do remember Chicago. Such an insane time in our fandom. Shit, all fandoms. But wow, it's nothing. Sorry. Yes, this is what I want to get to Jared's call. Jared, we're going to get to calls. Thumbs up. Give me a head. Are you alive? Jared, are you live in the waiting room? He is. Rings of Power is already sunk. By the way, I'm finishing my rewatch on Rings of Power, season 1. Loved it. We did the breakdown on Castle Talk. Alden's going to be doing the breakdown here in about 90 minutes, which is insane. It's like 10 o'clock his time. They dropped 3 episodes for season 2. Love the show. It's such a warm show. The Harfoot stuff, some of my favorite stuff. Durrett and Deesa, some of my favorite stuff. It's just such a warm, loving show, which has, by the way, the Tolkien estate's fingerprints all over it. Tolkien lore heads won't tell you that, though. They won't admit to that truth. It's ruining Tolkien's lore. The Tolkien estate has to approve all big decisions and has massive amount of notes for the showrunners. There's an interview out there where they talk about this. It's from the Tolkien estate. They are aware of everything. You might not agree with it. You don't need to agree with it. I say, like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fan, might disagree with some of the things they do in different versions. But the Adams estate has a say in that. But season 1 is so good. It's so warm. It stands on its own. You don't need to compare it to the books. You don't need to compare it to Jackson's movie. It's just warm show. A- at times overall. You want a rating? Fine. It's there's some things here and there, some pacing issues. 8 episodes. Sometimes I wish it was 10. Sometimes I think it could have been 6. I don't know. But it's a warm show with a loving, loving approach to the material. I can't wait for season 2. It's buried already. Season 2 is buried in a cavalcade of hate and bullshit and bad faith criticisms. And to Chris's point from Braxton, I don't. It's not just simply that we're in troubling times. There's just something going on in all these fandoms. You can't get anything out, and I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know, because it's turning people away from it. It's turning people away from it. Cameron says, "Fucking go off, kid." I love it. Yeah, I don't have the answers. I don't have the answers. It's beyond just simply an algorithm thing, but money talks, and a lot of these folks need to be shut off. But if they're not violating any terms of service in terms of sharing content that you can do a cease and desist or those kind of things, I've been talking to some friends about it. Can you go after a hate speech issue? Can you tie things back to them? I don't have that law degree. I don't think it's that easy. And I'm not saying it's a free speech. I'm not Elon Musk here. I'm just saying it generates too much. It's just also easier to hate. It's easier to dislike. I know this because when Schmoes started in 2012 with the podcast, or in 2007 when I was doing some writing, early blogging for their website, it was easier to be a little hacky hater. It was easier to be like, here's the 5 things that sucked about the G.I. Joe movie, as opposed to just ignoring it, because that's what people want to tune in for. I can tell you from being a stand-up comic, doing positive material about, hey, I like this thing, It's not easily grasped by the audience. Versus look at these other stupid people. We all like to team up and make fun of the others, right? That's so much of stand-up comedy is being, hey, I'm observing this weird thing. Let's be on this side of it and attack it, which is why when mask mandates hit and vaccines, all that stuff, a lot of comics, a lot of them I know, I think found themselves on the wrong side of history in terms of the anti-vax stances and anti-mask stances because they took the comic approach, which is, isn't it weird that people are wearing masks? Let's be over here and destroy it and hack up those folks as opposed to finding a different approach to it. And it's just bled into everything here. It's bled into everything, and it affects things. It affects things because Rotten Tomato scores shouldn't necessarily mean anything. But if you're just a casual fan and you come zipping through, oh, am I going to watch this new Star Wars show? Am I going to watch this Lord of the Rings show? Oh, no, Rotten Tomato says it's bad. Oh, okay, I won't do it. It affects things. It affects things. But then you go to the socio-political, which is there. And mind you, all these folks, be careful. Beware. I sound like I'm in Lord of the Rings. Beware of the person that comes at you with the same talking points of it's bad writing, it destroys lore, everything. Conversations we can have. Again, I think parts of Ahsoka aren't written as good as other parts. Blah blah blah. But when you're not careful, even good-intentioned people put their foot in the door. I've said this before. They put their foot in the door and they allow all the isms and phobias to come in. All the racism, all the bigotry, all the homophobia, all the transphobia, all that stuff comes in the back door and it's often allowed in by folks who I think otherwise might be good-intentioned or otherwise just might be trying to have an intelligent, nuanced conversation about this show. Can't you be critical? Yeah, I can be critical. Force Center is critical. But we're there for a reason and a stated purpose. Other shows have their own purpose. Be that purpose. But if you're not careful with the way you discuss this stuff, all that stuff comes flying in. And it's been flying in since 2000 ever. But in the Star Wars community, Joseph Scripture and I were talking about this day on an episode that's going to air next month on our Patreon only. Absolute bonkers, batshit insanity that John Boyega's face shows up. And people who would say, I ain't racist, were like, well, there was no black stormtroopers. The fuck you talking about? In Spaceland? With squids walking around with blasters? A black man can't be a stormtrooper? That was insane. And I think we did try to fight it with some kind of rationale. I think we kind of tried to fight it back then with some sort of, well, that's just, you're just being silly. As opposed to the actual insanity. I'd say the racism's probably worse than the insanity. But people who would die on the deathbed of saying, well, I'm not a racist. I'm just stating a fact. There's no black stormtroopers. All right, let's say that was true. Guess what? There is one now. That's all you had to deal with in 2014. There you go. Asked and answered. Okay, now there is. We looked at it. We looked at it with such naive eyes back then. Culture war has always been here. Read Cliff Nestor Huff's book. Read his book on the culture war and comedy. Chris Ryan says, dude, that shit still pisses me off about Venom Surrounded by. It's still bonkers because what's bonkers about it is now it's more apparent, right? Now it's more apparent. It feeds a bigger monster. But in 2014, there was that sense of it was normal to question that this somehow broke lore, that there were no black stormtroopers, which, by the way, some of the performers were. But they all had helmets on. Hell, for years we thought they were robots. Droids. We thought they were clones, right? And then I always say this, too. If you and again, I'm trying to take people at their good faith, with their good intentions. If John Boyega's face pops up on a trailer and your first reaction is, oh, but there's no black stormtroopers. One of the things that might be is it shines a light on the original trilogy cast not having enough color up on that screen, right? Like, if anything, you're like, well, yeah, the 30 X-Wing pilots, we're all pretty white, yeah. If anything, you should go, oh, well, I should rewire how I looked at the past movies and move forward together, all of us. Like I say, don't fight change, find your place in change. That's if you have that gut reaction. Then it got deeper. Okay. Here we go. Let's get to a call. But first, Hillbilly's Cribs, social needs a 10-year delay. These platforms had been 20 years ago. Star Sprinkles would have filled out. Yeah, there you go. Oh, man. There you go. Let's get to it. Jared, the pilot, is here. Jared, what are you doing, buddy? Bring some levity and joy to the show.
I feel like Otto Hightower in this little bucket at the end.
You're my Otto Hightower, Jared. Welcome to the show.
Oh, God. You know what? I will bring levity because I actually have a funny little... So I have a new job that, long story short, I am now government man from the government here to help.
You're G-Man? You're G-Man.
But in the process of getting said job, obviously, background checks and security checks. Needless to say, got bored, read the fine print. One of the things security check was going like, oh, you give us permission to look at all your internet stuff. I'm like, they're about to watch a whole lot of Force Center Casterly talk than you.
Good.
I hope they like Willow coverage.
Yeah. Oh, you're digging into my background? I am Otto Hightower. Well, that's good. First of all, congratulations on a new gig. You, like Vermont Mike, a G-man. I imagine you go to work in a suit from 1942 with a little, little hat, little double-breasted suit.
I mean, I do have that I inherited from a grandfather, scally caps from the 40s.
Just do me a favor. One day, just show up like that and see if anyone questions you.
Probably wouldn't.
Okay. I know you can't explain what you do for your job, but congratulations on that. Well, what's the thought? What's the question? I am on limited time tonight, so I want to get right to it. What do you got?
Let's do a fun one because I thought of this earlier. So I've got a laptop I use, and most of the time I'm good at like closing all my shenanigans, but sometimes it's that quick close while you're doing something. When I reopened it earlier, I was watching a concert on YouTube from a band Powerwolf. Familiar with them at all?
I'm not. What kind of music is Powerwolf?
So they are a power metal band from Germany that and their shtick is it's like goth motifs. So vampires, werewolves,
I'm looking at it now.
Catholic imagery, stuff like that. It's
their new album. Their new album's titled "Wake Up the Wicked."
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, but they have one song that when I opened up my laptop, it was the pause song. It is known as Resurrection by Erection. And it is everything you think it is.
Somewhere Gene Simmons is going, why didn't we think about that, Paul?
So it's like, it got me thinking, if, the worst was to happen and then, the loved ones have to clean up and they open up the laptop. What's the last thing he was looking at? My God.
You know what? Look, I'm not saying I get this dark, but, sometimes tragedy strikes and I've seen some comics or friends of friends or just someone posts on social media, my friend passed away and so sad. I'm going to admit something right here. I'll click on the profile, even if I don't know them, to see what their last post was. And I got to be honest with you. I keep that in mind sometimes when I'm posting.
I probably should myself.
Yeah, and that's what, because I look back at the Facebook memories. I check them every day. Number one, to see if I need to delete anything. But I've been through the cycle so much that I know there's a lot of things I wouldn't say anymore. But just in terms of my humor's change, I'm not going to attack. I'm going to celebrate more than things. But yeah, I'm like, man, if I had passed away in 2008, my last thing would have been a dumb joke about Doritos or something. Like, I can't have that. Can't have that.
No. Yeah, I hear you on that. But I think you will enjoy season 2 of Rings. It started out good so far.
Oh, great.
So I am enjoying it. So I look forward to Casterly's coverage after your stream, and you be safe, my good sir.
There you go. I appreciate that. God damn it. Jared, let me ask you this: do you ever sign up for something that you're like, I need to delete that, and then you forget to remind yourself, and then you get auto renewed? I just got a 2 terabyte Dropbox account I don't need for $20 more.
I
God damn it!
I have a Post-it next to my TV because I didn't want to put up with ads for Rings, so I did the $2.99 upgrade. Gotta delete that after Rings.
You got to delete it after Rings. God, I gotta put a calendar note. I don't use Dropbox, but I needed to use it for a clip that I didn't even get to use because it malfunctioned. God,
Dropbox, you're bringing me back.
That's how they get you. Jared, thanks for the call. Thanks for being patient, buddy.
Oh, of course. Later, brother.
All right, Jared's here. Like I said, I'm not going too long tonight. I have to get to some writing for the channel I work for from time to time called the Y Files. Check them out. So there we go. We got some questions. I'm starring some questions as I see them. And all those kind of things. Oh, Adam Knight is here. Hello, all. Just popping in for a bit. Want to make grilled cheeses for my kiddo and her friends. Ain't nothing better than grilled cheese by your dad or your mom. Last week, I visited my folks. I haven't seen them in about a year. Yeah, Google Drive has limited my need for Dropbox. Dropbox is outdated. Oh, man. Mimkus asks, Ken, have I seen Better Call Saul? I have not. I have not seen Breaking Bad either. And I beg of you to not remind Grace of that because she's considered leaving me because I've never watched Breaking Bad. I don't think she watched Better Call Saul, though. Maybe she did. I don't know. Anyways, so I can't be here too much longer tonight. So, but I'd love to have your calls. If you're a YouTube channel member, hit that link, call in. If you're a patron supporter, call in. We'll do a little bit of a rapid fire from here the rest of the night. So if you got a call, get your question, get your thought out. Let's have a conversation. I'll get someone else in here. So with that in mind, Jared Ouellette says, I've never gotten to Breaking Bad. Vermont Mike says, I've only seen one episode of Breaking Band. I know you meant Breaking Bad, but now I want a reality show called Breaking Band where we try to break up bands. Vermont Mike, pitch that. We're going to bring our buddy Brennan Marr in here while I'm gathering some questions as well. Aaron Parisian says, I saw Grace on a rewind episode of Criminal Minds. Yeah, you know what that means, Aaron? Money. 12 cents. Brennan, how you doing, buddy? What's your question? What's your thought?
Let me just switch my microphone here.
You got it.
I got the wrong microphone.
Look, we all plug in the wrong mic at one point in our lives,
How's
Brennan.
Is that good?
It sounds sexy as always, Brennan. What's your question, buddy? How you doing? Thought of you the other day because we drove past an Olive Garden and an Outback, and we almost went to the Outback, but we didn't. So.
Yeah, I mean, Outback's great. Olive Garden, not so much. But Outback, good stuff.
Good stuff indeed.
So I've been watching the Masters of the Air series on Apple TV Plus. Excellent series.
Okay, I'm looking that up right now while you're asking your question. Okay.
Think Band of Brothers, the old
Ooh,
show.
yeah. You know what? Okay.
Which are both terrific shows, by the way.
It gets the Brennan Marr seal of approval?
It does. And I was thinking because, I don't have any direct ancestors who fought in World War II.
Okay.
But my grandfather was on a submarine during the Cold War. And one of his favorite movies was The Hunt for Red October.
Sure, absolutely.
It has become one of my favorite movies. So I wanted to know, do you have a movie that you love because a family member loved it?
Oh, Brennan, that's a great
is there a movie, because I know your grandpa had some pretty interesting experiences.
Yeah, he did in WW2.
Or he had a favorite movie.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. This is Brennan. This is a great question. I'm rolling through some answers quickly as I can. My dad loved the movie Paint Your Wagon. Clint Eastwood, Lee Marvin.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's not normally. It's a musical. It's not normally what I think. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's not a movie my dad would normally like, but he liked it because he played it on the ship. He was kind of in charge of choosing the movies when he was in the Navy. He also at one point became the ship's drug dealer, but that's a different story and led to him finding.
That story for another time.
Yeah, but it led to him finding Jesus. So happy ending. But he would play that. He would play Paint Your Wagon, and so then we did watch it when I was like 10 or 11. Watched it and I haven't spent a lot of time with it since, but I always think fondly of that movie because it meant so much to him. That's an example.
Very nice, yeah.
My grandfather, he loved things like watching Bonanza and F Troop on repeat.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he watched a movie. But my mom, I'll tell you what, again, I love making references to it and not poking fun, but making a fun reference to it. But my mom loved the movie Yentl.
Oh my
Papa,
goodness.
can you hear me? Papa, can you see me? So therefore, we always had it on. Mandy Patinkin, Babs, Barbara Streisand. I like Yentl.
Mandy Patinkin could do no wrong. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. He's a great.
Montoya after all. So.
Absolutely, indeed.
Yeah.
So those are two that come to mind.
And I know that my dad loves Apollo 13, and so do I. So.
Yeah, it's good to have that.
The Martian too. That was another one that both me and my dad absolutely loved.
I love that. That's great.
But yeah, no, it's always interesting to see these things where.
Yeah.
It's something that several family members in the family enjoy.
Yeah, it's good. And we don't have a lot of that. My family and I didn't sit down after a while to watch a lot of movies. So it's good to have those memories.
Mm-hmm.
Mimkus in chat says Yentl is a good movie, and that makes me feel good. And like I said,
I would never seen Yentl, so I can't.
It's a musical, and it's got some I think some important social political issues that it deals with as well. Reading books. What is it? Reading books for men, picture books for women is like that thing was going on there. It's a lot. The movie has a lot to say, but also some great tunes because it's got Babs. My mom's a big fan of Babs, Barbara Streisand.
All right. Well, if I don't get a chance to talk to you, I will be in your neck of the woods.
Let me know.
So I'll let you know what's going on.
Keep me updated, Brendan. You're gonna have a good time down here.
And
weather's just getting better.
If it's a good meetup or not, I mean. I'm gonna go check out the smokehouse anyway.
Whether I can or not, you need
your recommendation.
You need to go camp at the smokehouse and enjoy what you want. Get that wedge salad. All right.
Well, I can't eat anything with dairy, so wedge salad is out.
Well, see, we ask them if they. You know what? Tell you what. Here's my answer for that. You take the blue cheese off, take the dressing off, and go to a store, Brendan, and get non-dairy ranch or blue cheese and non-dairy feta cheese. They exist. And then just bring in the store, and no one's going to question you. Just be like, hey, I'm ordering your wedge salad without these things, and then put it on yourself. See if they do anything.
I'm going to commit blasphemy and put, Thousand Island on.
There, yeah, I would have that. I would have a Thousand Island wedge salad. All right, Brendan. All right. Let me know.
Talk to you, Ken.
Thank you, buddy. Brendan Marr, everybody. We're rolling along. Addie's going to be on the phone calls, the phones right now. Addie, a professor in a cardigan. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
You know what? Let me tell you something, Addie. I've actually had a pretty good week. And so a lot of times I come on the airwaves and I haven't had a good week. I've had a good week. I'm going to celebrate that.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. You?
So I'm getting ready for the semester to start, so I've had a hectic week.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Today was freshman move-in, so.
God bless those freshmen starting those journeys. Debauchery coming.
They posted on social media that the class of 2028 was born in 2006, and I was like, I don't need that reminder.
Oh,
Please
God,
go
no.
Away.
No.
Yeah.
I can't deal with that. God, I mean, time, it is what it is, but that's amazing. Okay, Addie, I want to know what's on your mind. So
here's my question tonight, inspired by earlier conversations, because you inspired my dessert choice based on earlier conversations.
Okay, what do we got?
I keep a bin in my fridge of the seasonal Reese's. I just buy them when they go on sale, the day after Halloween, come January, end of Easter. What is the best seasonal Reese's?
Well, I'm gonna admit a blind spot. I don't immediately know a lot of them. There's not like a Christmas Reese's. It's probably a great.
Yeah, I literally ate Christmas trees earlier.
Oh, so it's like the shape. All right, I'm gonna look these up. It would have to be Halloween related, because Halloween's celebrated in a big way in our house. I do live with a witch, so that makes sense. I'm looking up seasonal Reese's.
So
yeah, okay. Easter.
Yeah.
The egg-shaped ones? Mm-hmm. I enjoy those. Let me tell you, Addie, I'll tell you why. Easier to fit in my mouth.
That is true. As I was eating the trees, I was like, corners are annoying.
They're annoying. I can't have harsh, hard corners and angles on my chocolate treats.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a fan of the pumpkins, if only because there's such a long drought between Easter and Halloween. It's like exciting to see the seasonal Easter or the seasonal Reese's back. And I'm like, pumpkins. It's seasonal Reese's time.
It's seasonal Reese's.
Because you can tell me I'm crazy. The seasonal Reese's, it's a different peanut butter to chocolate ratio, and it's better.
Okay. Big Lou and Vermont Mike, two guys who I trust their Reese's thoughts. Big Lou says the chocolate to peanut butter ratio is best with the eggs. End of question. He has spoken. And then Vermont Mike says the chocolate and peanut butter ratio is key, and only the regular cup and the eggs meet the criteria. Sounds like you're on board with that.
See, I think regular cups, the chocolate is ever so slightly too thick.
There are times, especially if you get like the jumbo-sized one, it's too much of a good thing. It's too much of a good thing.
But that fluffy peanut butter in the middle of the egg or the middle of the pumpkin, it's just...
What do you feel? Can I ask your opinion on the Reese's Nutrageous bar? Because it's a favorite for me. I'm just going to put my cards on the table.
I've never had one of those.
Yeah, it's a 7-Eleven standby for me. It's very hard. That and whatchamacallits are hard. Well, if I get the hankering,
I've also never been to a 7-Eleven.
Okay, well, Addie, I don't know what you're teaching the kids of the future, the kids of tomorrow, today. I don't know what you're teaching them, but,
Chemistry.
We did request. Chemistry. That's fair. Okay. All right. But go. What's nearest to you? A Love's, a Pilot,
I mean, there is a 7-Eleven. I've just never been to it.
Wow. You have the option to enter heaven, and instead you say, I'm going to sit outside the gates. Addie, the next time you call, I want you to take that trip to 7-Eleven.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You do not have to take orders from me. Addie, thank you for the call and the thoughts, and you're now making me hungry for Reese's Pieces again. So, there you go. All right, we're going to get on to some more calls. Vermont Mike agrees with me. Whatchamacallit is an all-time great. Yet in Vermont Mike, it somehow remains underrated in the conversation of great candies. I don't quite understand that, but it's kind of like, I don't know. I always say like the band, the Guess Who. They're an all-time great, but they're not talked about a lot in the conversation. All right. A couple questions I want to get to. Laserbolt, a fellow Ken, says to me, Kenneth, are you going to play Star Wars Outlaws? Myself, I'm looking for a new game to play, and this might be it. I intend to. If I don't auto-renew Dropbox again, I think I can afford it. I did not get the early access. I know it drops tomorrow. I also have to clear space in the old PS5. I have to figure that out, maybe get an external hard drive for that. But yeah, I am excited. I'm actually currently replaying Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm in the story mode right now, and I'd started to do it on Twitch a while ago, and I apologize to those on Twitch who are looking forward to more of that, but I'm doing it for myself now, and I'm having a great time. So maybe I'm subconsciously warming up for the open world of Outlaws. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to get to it. And one day maybe I'll stream some games again, but we'll see. Question comment here from Brian. Says, Ken, love your last dinner party recommendation. They're on my radar, but deep dive has proved worthwhile. I think I found the hard rock version of Haim. If you haven't checked out The Warning, I have checked out The Warning, and I really like The Warning. I'm at that spot that you were with last dinner party, aware but haven't done the deep dive yet. So I definitely am going to take a deep dive in The Warning. But one of their songs popped up on YouTube. I'd kind of heard the name, and then they popped up on YouTube, and I watched a live performance, and spectacular. Great name too, by the way. That's a great band name, The Warning. So there you go. Jared says, you did love your football streams. Yeah, we might, we could do Ken's Monday Night of Football again. I might get the new Madden. I'm still playing the old one. So there you go. Laserbolt would agree. NFL stream. NFL. Mimkis says, Ken, what's your favorite season of Game of Thrones? You're asking a great question. I don't want it to start a fight. My favorite season of Game of Thrones might be season 2, closely with season 1, and then season 8. I am not just a season 8 defender. I don't care to defend it anymore. I don't need to defend season 8. Anyone out there who doesn't like season 8, go for it. dislike it, hate it, tear it apart. I legitimately love that season. It moved me on so many levels. And I found it fulfilling. And I found that it made a lot of sense, especially if you go back to season 3, beginning of season 3, which is where the showrunners really said they started to lock in on some of the things they wanted to do. John and Danny's thematic stories are laid out in season 3, particularly in the first half of the season. And I absolutely figured it was there. Jared goes back to my NFL streams. You needed to stick to short pass. Yeah, but Jared, I got to tell you, I'm still on the all pro, not the top level, whatever there's pro, all pro, right? In the Madden level. I'm on all pro. And I threw for like 4,000 yards. I finally found some pass plays that worked for me. So I got better. Addie, who used to call into Daily Thrones all the time. That's where I first heard Addie's wonderful thoughts. Says, love season 8, but I think season 6 is my favorite just because the soundtrack is killer. The season 6 soundtrack is the best. That absolutely is. And if you wanted to say it was all because of the Cersei revenge moment, you'd be right. It's great. All right. Let's get a caller that I got to see. I got to hug in person recently over at Lyric Hyperion. On the show now with a question or a thought is our friend 8984M Brady Kyray. How are you doing, buddy?
Hey, Ken. I just wanted to say that you're a pretty funny man. I loved your set.
Oh, look at this sweetness coming in here. Thank you, man. I had a really fun time at that show, Joseph Scrimshaw's birthday variety show. Really good set, a lot of fun, and I appreciate you coming on out there, man.
Yeah, that was a great show. I was so glad I made the trip.
What people need to realize is it was hard for you to make the trip. You are SoCal based, right? But you needed to take a lot of public transportation, which is daunting, and then you have to get home, which is equally as daunting. But you did it.
I will say, to defend Metro, I'm a Metro boy in LA. Mm-hmm. Can't afford a card, but I will say I only had to do like one transfer to get there. Yeah. I just chilled at the public library. Shout out to LA Public Library.
My friend who's sometimes in chat here, Chris Kiefer, Carbon Swap, he is a librarian in the LA County Library System.
Yeah. I got a card because wow,
there's a lot of resources at the library. We overlook the libraries.
Yeah.
But I'm glad, man. I'm glad you got to come out. Glad you got to meet folks like Brian Tiller, who was there hanging out with you as well. Johnny, right? Our buddy Johnny Starlight, right? Yeah.
And Nikki. Yeah, I think he was there too. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Nikki Kumar. I forgot about Nikki Kumar.
Okay. Yeah, I will say I realize I have massive facial blindness because I recognized everyone. It took me a while to put one and one together. I was like, wait a minute, I recognize you.
I had an ex-friend, I put in a real stress, underlined ex-friend, who later said that she had that. And I guess it is, I'm not making fun, I guess it was a real condition. Do you have it just as a condition, or you are just think you just are bad with faces?
I think I'm just bad with faces. Yeah.
Okay.
I think living in LA, I sort of think wait a minute, do I recognize you? Or do I not recognize you?
Totally. And you're like, were you just on a TV show that I watched? Did we have an improv class together? Yeah, there's a lot of that.
I would totally be that person. There's always those celebrities who say they met a person and you're like, you look just like that celebrity. I would be that person. You would Tony Hawk him? You would Tony Hawk him? Yeah, I would say Tony Hawk, and I'd be like, you look just like that guy in that video game I play,
That's right. I'll tell you what, I needed to delete a video game to put on another thing on my PS5. What did I add? Oh, no, you know what it was? It was a Fortnite update that was so big that I needed to delete something. And I chose it was down between the Star Wars Lego game, the one that came out a year or so ago, and Tony Hawk 2. And I booted the Star Wars Lego game because I was not going to get rid of Tony Hawk 2.
Tony Hawk is...
Or 1 and 2 on the remaster.
Tony Hawk is real. I never played it as a kid, but I got it recently, and I get it now.
Well, but Brady, that's because when it was out, I don't even know if you were one. So
it came out in the 90s, right?
No, it came out like maybe 99, 2000, 2001 range. So
okay.
right on the cusp. Right on the cusp. Laserbolt claims he's unbeatable at Tony Hawk. I am very beatable at Tony Hawk, but I have fun. Brady, thank you, sir, for calling. Yeah. Thank you very much for showing up the other night at the comedy show and the variety show.
Thank you for putting on the show. That was so much fun.
Good. And we'll do it again.
Everyone in chat, you should come out to LA, watch Ken, you know?
There you go. Look at that. Yo, I'm at Flappers tomorrow night at 7:30. Get your asses out there. Get on a plane for 8 minutes of comedy. No. All right. All right. We'll see you, Brady. Thank you so much, my friend. All right. We are I'm kind of wrapping up here tonight. I got one more call lined up. I want his question, but I have some questions for him. This is the Blathering Live. Thanks for hanging out and watching with me and listening on the replay. Don't forget, on the podcast channel, I started something new, which is really something old, called a knapsack file, and it is just audio only. Some of them musings where I don't have to worry about camera or how pretty I look or any comments, which I love dealing with here with you all, hanging out with you all. You know what I mean? But it's up there now. So last week we did an episode, another one on the way. But we're closing out the show tonight with my friend from Texas. That's at least where he resides now, doing the Lord's work out there. Hillbilly Scribs himself. Speaking of podcasts, the Jeff Saunders Walkabout Show is out there now. He'll tell you all about it. Mr. Jeff, how are you, buddy?
I am doing great. How are you tonight, Ken?
You know what? I'm great. I got a little unexpected work to do right after I hit to end the stream here. I got to get to some writing tonight, but it's good. It's work, and I love it. But I'm in a good mood, Jeffrey. You know, I sometimes struggle to find a good mood, but it's been a good week. I've been up early. I've been active. Went to the driving range. I've been eating better other than the Reese's cookies I had tonight. It feels good. You know that feeling.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have to enjoy the cookies every now and then.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself.
You know. But I did have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
And I'll hang and chat with you as long as you want, but I don't want to keep you because I know you've got stuff to do tonight. But piggybacking off of something you said earlier in the show, you mentioned Pawn Stars.
Yeah.
And I remember like when the History Channel and like Discovery Channel and the Learning Channel were new, and like a lot of the shows on those channels reflected what the channels were about.
Right.
These days, I have no idea what the Learning Channel is trying to teach me. Discovery Channel is mostly fake Bigfoot videos, which I'm here for.
I love them. Yeah, same.
But History Channel will occasionally put out some new content that still has like historical information in it. And I was just wondering, are there any series on any of those channels, but specifically History Channel, that you fall back on, that you can like fall back into anytime?
If I've run into them, because I'll run into some clips on YouTube, but like the Modern Marvels show was my favorite to watch back then. So I don't know if there's anything new, because they've kind of fallen into the ancient aliens and that kind of stuff too. But, which I'll catch. Grace and I watched the Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch show. Completely just fraudulent, and a friend of mine knows one of the former like producers on the show. And he's like, yeah, no, we pitch stories every week. It's all written. But
allegedly.
I enjoy the personalities. I enjoy the personalities and the bonkers nature of it. The Expedition Bigfoot. I enjoy Expedition with Russell Acord and Dr. Maria. I forget her name, but she was a former Miami Dolphin cheerleader turned world renowned scientist. So I go for that stuff. But but I do. So I don't have that answer specifically, Jeff, other than like a Modern Marvels. But I do miss those days. I do miss. This is the destruction that streaming has brought. And Adam Conover did a video recently on his channel of it isn't just about the destruction of cable or the destruction of our old viewing systems. Like, channels used to have personalities. You would know that you were one of you were a History Channel guy. You were an MTV guy. Maybe you were a VH1 guy. And I do miss that.
Yeah, but most of them, unless you see like a station identification, you don't know which one you're watching.
You don't know. What about you, sir? Favorite History Channels or whatnot?
Some of the shows I enjoy on History Channel that are newer ones are those the Whatever That Built America series.
Yeah, yep.
Like I've been watching. I think I've been watching recently the the toys that built America. And there's just a lot of nostalgia in some of that stuff, because some of the episodes are like stuff that came out during my lifetime. So it's kind of cool. Kind of cool.
Yeah, no, they have. It's a great, because I was a fan of several of the episodes of The Toys That Made Us, Brian Volk-Weiss's series, and it's a solid series. Some of the stuff is not my favorite on it now, but The Toys That Built America is a great series that runs alongside of that. But also The Food That Built America is on there as well. And I love that stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jeff, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You recently took up one of the hardest challenges in your life. And you've had some challenges in your life, Jeff. You've gotten through some tough things. You have a job that is both beautiful and tremendously challenging, emotional. You've got a lot of challenges in your life, Jeffrey, but you recently tried stand-up comedy for the first time.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about grandfatherhood, but yeah, comedy. I did that.
Oh
too.
yeah, you've recently become a grandfather. Yay! You know, what did you have to do for that? Okay, just raise a kid
Nothing.
until they could have their own kid. Come on, you did stand-up comedy for the first time, and I want to know what made you commit to doing it, and then how did you feel the moment you were out of the club and on the way home?
Well, I think what made me commit to doing it was it's just something that I'd been kind of talking about a lot just with myself for a few years about doing, and I've always kind of enjoyed like writing jokes or making wisecracks or whatever. So I just got to a point where I was like, well, let me try to put some of these together and see if I can make something kind of coherent that a crowd may laugh at. And then getting the courage to get up there and see if the crowd is going to laugh at it. But yeah, that's pretty much what got me there. And then as far as like afterwards, I got up there and I thought I was going to projectile vomit with like every step toward the stage. And once I got up there, some of the jokes landed, and it was enough to get me through the 3 minutes they allotted me. And then afterwards, I was like shaking and vibrating for like an hour, and I can't wait to do it again. Oh no, I think I lost Ken. I feel okay. I felt like
Jeff,
Garth.
did you hold down the court?
I tried. I felt like Garth in Wayne's World that time that Wayne wasn't there, and he just started like having a nervous breakdown.
I'm sorry. No, my computer just completely had a fatal shutdown. And and I was like, all right, let me try to get back in. I mean, maybe it was still here, but everyone's saying you did great. No, I completely had the blue screen came up. It said you're done. It said you're done, pal. And then I didn't even stop recording. I figured I'll figure it out. All right, we're here.
No. Well, I'll give you a cliff notes of like the massive tome I just gave to everyone else. I was very nervous before. I thought I was going to vomit when I was going up to the stage. I got up there and the first joke landed. Then I forgot the rest of my set, and I forgot my backup set. So I pulled some jokes that I had been working on that day, and they landed. I flubbed one up, but it's still the crowd was nice and kind, generous, and smart enough to see where the joke was going. And then after it was over, like I was shaking for about an hour. And and just consumed with the thought of I can't wait to do this again.
That's the answer I wanted, Jeff. That's the answer I want. Where fear turns into accomplishment, and you know that was difficult. You know that was something you could have backed away from, but you didn't, and you want to do it again. I think that's wonderful. Yeah. And behind the curtain, spoiler for those, I did get to hear your set. You sent me a copy of it, and it was a fun set, and the crowd was very supportive. Yeah, they're not always going to be that. You know that truth. You know that reality. But a lot of fun, and I'm very, very proud. I like that everyone in chat thought either one, I had a stroke, or I was really intently listening to you.
Well, I think you could go with either one of those.
Yeah.
Hopefully the latter. Hopefully the latter, though.
It worked. Well, I can't wait for you to do it again. And look, I got a set tomorrow night. I'm absolutely going to forget part of my set list. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't try to write down set lists much anymore. I just have a couple of things I want to get to, some benchmarks in my set that I want to arrive at, and you just go with that. You just go with the flow.
Yeah. Well, and that really was like a really good learning moment in this. I learned real quick. I can't stick to a script. I've got to be able to roll with it.
Love it. Jeff, that's what I want to hear. By the way, your podcast is back up and running. Tell the folks where they can find that.
It is Mr. Saunders Sandbox, and it is on Spotify right now. I'm eventually going to get it out to all the other places fine podcasts are served, but right now it's just on the Spotify. And and I'm putting them out about once a week. If it's all hobby for me, so if some week I don't feel like putting one out, I just take the week off. Yeah,
don't do it. I love that. Jeff, thank you. Call in after your next set, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
All right, and thank you for holding down the show when I just disappeared. All right.
I think I just stared at the camera, but all right.
That Garth reference from Wayne's World is amazing. All right, everybody, that is the show. I got to get to some work, and that also, I will admit, it does include walking a Chihuahua a couple blocks around our house. I will do this highlight. Speaking of stand-up comedy, my full 40-minute set from Hot Burbank Nights is up and available for anyone who becomes a Patreon supporter. And while you're there, you get to call into the show. The link is put out every week. My Young Guns 2 commentary, Young Guns commentary is there. And I kept saying, I'm absolutely going to do Young Guns 2 in August. I just realized it's the end of August. So September, but you can get the commentary on Young Guns, which is on my Patreon page as well. Consider supporting and help an independent artist like me. That is it for this week. We'll see you next week, friends. Bye.